Let's hear for the very funny Mr. Medicinal Mike, everybody.
Yo, folks. I'm the other headliner. Give it up for Mike Castleberry, killing it up here with his ski he left all over the stage. I appreciate that. I don't know what's up with the blue lights. I feel like it's like a vampire warning system. I think I just passed, so that's good. I got, like, real talk, I got the first radio show that's about pot on FM last week. Most stoners really just don't give a shit. I tried to tell someone, I'm like, yeah, they're like, cool. I'm like, okay, on to something else. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure too, because I can't do anything fun. Like when I showed up, they're like, we're gonna make you the first guy in marijuana on radio. I'm like, cool, bong rip challenge, we're gonna get fucking high, right, Red Man? They're like, no, and they fired everybody. And they said if I even say bong, then nobody else for pot will ever get to do it. I don't even know where the joke is. That's just some of the stress that I'm dealing with in my life, and I feel good about letting that out to you guys, so thanks, man. I got my weed card. Anybody do that? Anybody smoke pot in here? Woo, you guys, and not you. Well, you know, if you did, it would cure your ankle, like, instantly. That's what weed does. I swear to God, one hit, you'd be like, oh, shit. I had to go to a doctor to get your weed card. The doctor cost $35, so you know that you are going to get the best of medical care that $35 can provide. I went up there, and the doctor, first of all, is on Skype, so he's not even really in the office. You gotta show up. He's on a little screen, and he doesn't care that you have diabetes at all, because that's not how he makes his money. He looks at me, and he's like, do you have trouble sleeping? But he's like nodding his head. He's like, do you have trouble sleeping? And I'm like, no. And he's like, do you have anxiety? All right? And he's nodding his head because he wants that $35. And I'm like, no, I just kind of want to get high. And he says, come closer to the screen. And I get real close because I think he's about to drop some knowledge on me. And he goes, ah! And I was like, ah! And he's like, that's anxiety. That'll be $35. So now I got my weed card. I went to a walk-in. Has anybody done that? Like an actual Walmart pot shop? Nobody. Well, follow me on this. 9-foot golden doors, all right? You walk in, your favorite song is playing when you open it up, Journey, whatever yours is, that's mine. Little angels, they're throwing pot seeds everywhere. And it's an awesome experience, because there's just weed everywhere. So I'm like, I should work here, right? So I filled out a job application, but it was one of them jobs that I didn't think I was gonna get. So, you know, you don't fill it out serious. So I put, good at PlayStation 3. That's all I wrote. I didn't even put my name on it. And I handed it in, he's like, oh, the boss would like to talk to you in the back. I'm like, fuck, I'm qualified for this. I go in the back, dude's got a bong, first of all, that's this big. California, if it takes more than one person to hit your bong, it's definitely not medicinal on any level whatsoever. He's got the little weed angels with the Bic lighters floating, and he's like it was the test. He's like, hit that. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I didn't know how to do it. And we got it lit, and I spoke, and it's so much smoke. There's stuff coming out of my nose, my eyes, I'm choking, I can't breathe for like 45 minutes, and the only thing, tell me if you ever went through this, that kept me like just stable is that nobody's ever died from this. Like I had to actually tell myself that. Hey Mike, you're spitting blood. It's okay. Nobody dies from this. It is fine. It's fine. That was a good thing. What else is going on in weed? I got kids. Everybody else got kids out here? Woo, get high and have kids. It's awesome. Everybody been to the elementary school stoned? That's probably a good, if you don't have kids, don't do it. It's frowned on, or find one that looks like you. But the whole school is made out of blue Nerf. I shit you not. When I was a kid, you became a man on the playground. The whole playground was 163 degrees, right? And it was like a teeter-totter, and it was steel, and it stuck between your legs like this, and it was hot. It was two big poles of concrete steel. It was all mixed together, and you would go up and down, and it was the yay! And then you'd have your little friend Billy, who would be sitting on the other side of the teeter-totter, right? And he'd get that look in his eye. And then you would go up, but you wouldn't, he'd just be up. You're like, this is not how it's supposed to go. And that's when you learn that you can't trust anybody, right? Because Billy got up and left, and you just right to the ground. Remember rubbing dirt in your hands like you were an Olympic athlete to do cherry bombs, flipping? That's when you put your leg on top of the bar and you flip backwards and forwards until you fall and break your head. We had the jungle gym. That was the jungle gym, if you don't know, 4 stories tall, right? This was the masterpiece of the playground. This is like where you figured out if it was a good school or not, by the jungle gym. Because somebody would just bring 46 bars and some Lou Wig nuts and whatever those pieces are called, and they'd say build it. So it'd be all different shapes and shit. And it's not that the ride itself was scary, it's that every school I went to, and I'm sure you, some kid fell off this thing and broke every top tooth in his skull. Every school you went to, right? You're just like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and boom, dead. My kid climbed on top of his jungle gym, and he's like, Dad! And he fell off the jungle gym. And I'm like, ah! And he went and landed back on the jungle gym. Just nerve. Nerve. That's how you know kids are like weaker than they were. Like, because back in the day, I got my ass whooped. My grandmother was like Mortal Kombat. She had 14 karat gold fingernails, 9 grandchildren, and she would line us up in size order. And I would stand there, and she was like 400 pounds and hovered in a muumuu, right? And she would have her arms behind her back, but they didn't kind of go behind her back, so they just kind of right here, because she was a little tubby. And she'd say, who did it? All Jewy, right? And I would say, Philip, right? Because I want to be an honest little kid for my grandma. And she would whoop his ass, pick him up in the air by these gold fingernails, and just beat him around. And then I got my ass whooped. Because of what? Because you don't rat out your family. Whoop my ass. Kids don't do that now. My kid knows he can't get his ass whooped. Like, he'll be smart about it. I feel like he's got an app on his phone that if I even push him this far, CPS is just notified. His hip lights up. Beep, beep. CPS. Kids got bake sales at the school. And I'll bring like 14 trays of brownies. I love participating. Teacher's like, no, motherfucker, 200 feet, we have DARE. We know who you are. Facebook, my kid says, how did you guys talk before Facebook? And which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say, but he didn't live in that world. So I said, we used to wear cool t-shirts like Mike's. It has Superman symbol on it, right? You walk around all day and someone be like, dude, that's a cool shirt. You'd be like, that's 5 likes today. And you'd have to count them. Now, my girl's like 24. I'm gonna be 37, right? Woo! But Facebook is how she talks. Like, she sends me a picture and you have to answer. You have to answer. Your girl sends you something on Facebook and you don't answer, it gets weird. She sends me a cat kicking a soccer ball. And she's like, what? So I sent her an egg eating the sun, you know? She got pissed because that's apparently, and she's sitting on the couch right across from me the whole frickin' time, but I don't know. I'm just dealing with that with Facebook. That was today. Anybody having trouble with the remote control? This is my biggest boggle in life. If you smoke weed, the remote is your biggest enemy or your greatest friend. I'm sitting on the couch 4 hours ago and I'm watching some weird shit and I had the remote because I turned on the weird shit and then I looked and the remote was gone. I had gone nowhere. I was like a starfish waiting for food to be brought to me, you know? And I'm sitting there and it's like the Jesus channel and I'm like, you know, I guess I'm gonna watch it, right? And the dude's like, hallelujah, and I was touched and I stood up and I was like, hallelujah, and the remote appeared. Anybody tried edibles? They put weed in your food, don't smoke it. I ate a brownie and I thought I had superpowers. I smoke a lot of pot, but I don't eat pot because that's new, that's a California thing. We don't do that everywhere else in the world. Like, you can't get high enough out here. Well, we're gonna smoke a blunt, we put wax in it, we got some keef on it, and a little hash at the tip. They'd be like, you know, it'd be great if we could get this into dinner. Yeah, so I ate it, and I closed my eyes, and I opened them, and I'm like here right now, and there's a bunch of lights, and I'm like, that's teleportation, because I don't know how I got here. Yeah. I ate edibles and I went to a gay bar in Hillcrest, but I didn't know it was a gay bar, which the gays love when that happens. I come in and I'm just like, oh, rainbow, you know, this is kind of cool. And I'm reading the menu and there's rainbows on everything there and it's kind of cool. And I just start looking around and you can see a couple of the gay dudes are like, hey, watch this. You know, because everyone's looking and I just, oh shit, right? Because it all comes washing in. And I'm like, okay, I'm either gonna A, judge these people and make an ass out of myself, or B, I'm gonna think about sushi. Sushi, I hate it. I've never, it smells bad, it looks bad. The places that make it smell like cat pee, but I've never tried it. So I didn't want to judge. So I figured, here I am at the gay bar with a penis in my mouth. I didn't like it. Damn, I feel like I had a different punchline that didn't make me look like such a fag. That just didn't set right with me. I was like, oh, great. I did make a cool gay friend. I took him home, not to my home. See, there it goes again. I'm just gonna have a moment with myself. So my gay friend invited me to his house for a party, and I got dressed up. More gay, right? But he said it's gonna be dancing, fighting, and fucking. And I'm like, this is gonna be an awesome, awesome night. And I got there, and it was just me and him. Yep. So there I was again with a penis in my mouth. Because, you know, if you try it once and you're like, I don't like this, it might not be you. Like maybe the other guy wasn't into it and giving it his all, and I would have been spoiled on the entire experience. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, let's talk about pot some more. Bongs rock. My dad was cool. He also weighed 400 pounds, much like his mother, my grandmother. But he lived in a trailer park, which was awesome. Like in California, you guys have trailer parks, but you call them mobile home communities because they have orange trees and shit, which I think is cool. But we have headlights and aluminum foil on our windows. And a petting zoo with no animals, but he babysits for free. So your parents send you there for hours on end. My dad was real strict about pot, you know, and I would come home and I'd be all high. And my dad had a sense of humor too. I don't know if your parents did this, but he liked to sit, first of all, in the house in his underwear. And back then they didn't have cool boxers and shit. And he was fat, so you would think he was naked, right? Because the belly went right down to the knees. And he would like to do that at 3 in the morning, but he would turn all the lights out in the house and wait for me to come home. So I would walk in the house into the trailer, which you could hear. If you open the front door of the trailer and you overstep, you end up in the backyard. It's very small. It's very small. You ring the doorbell, the toilet flushes. So I get in there and he's like, ah! He turns on the lights and he's just fat and there, and I have a friend. So we just shoved them outside, right? And he's like, you look high. And I'm like, yeah, I am high. And he goes, no, you look like you smoked 2.7 grams of pot, right? Which is a trip because that would be exactly what I smoked, right? And I'm like, how do you know that? And he would hold up his bag and go, because I'm short 2.7 grams. Well, that's my cue. All right, you guys, have a great night. Listen to my show. It's on Tuesdays at 7, Nug Life Radio. It's cannabis education. I really did just get scared by sirens, Damien, so I don't know if I cut out a minute early. Give it up for your host, Damien Pruitt.
It's all good, Mike. This is OB. I think we all got a little nervous.